We're just gonna take it straight on through today. No cuts, none whatsoever. We're gonna leave in all the fuck ups. Welcome back to the Big 3 Reviews. My name is Weekly Shonen, and we have a very, very special video for you guys today. Or I have a very special video for you guys today. I guess me and Ryunosuke, wherever he's at, will have a special video. Let me go get him. We have a very special video for you guys today. Me and Ryunosuke over here. Put him over here to the side so you can watch the front of the house. Because today is the day after One Piece episode 1000 dropped. So very, very special day. And also, I also went to my first convention this weekend. I went to Anime NYC. Went Friday, the day before One Piece 1000 dropped. And I got a treasure of my own. Let's see if you can see that right there. I got Colleen Clickingbird to basically sign my hat. Met her, took a quick little selfie with her. You know, due to COVID, you couldn't really catch the smile on me, but I was I think you can see it through the mask how happy I was. And yeah, man, I guess now I have a mission, right? I have to get every other Luffy voice actor and Oda himself to sign this hat, and then this would be probably one of the greatest treasures I have. So very, very excited for you guys today, and because of that, we're gonna start off with One Piece chapter 1032, of course. Let me put the hat back on. I have to keep this on throughout the whole review, I guess. We're just starting off with One Piece 1032, and I'm going to talk quickly about episode 1000 right after that, so stay tuned, and then I'll give you timestamps for everything else. So, yeah, 1032. What's going on, right? We start off with Izo, and I'm forgetting names now that I know that this is going to be like a straight through recording, but Marco and Izo just traveling through. They noticed the yokai, which was this mentioned before? I couldn't remember there being an announcement at all. But yeah, they noticed some yokai that's apparently making its way through Onigashima. But oh, sorry, I don't even got my thing on. Oh, there you are. Okay, cool. Sorry, my photos. I'm finally getting an optimized setup here of video editing. I got my Ableton to work, so I have audio again. I have DaVinci Resolve, so I can edit these videos a little bit quicker, which is helpful for me because it's a good transition between iMovie and DaVinci, I guess. But it's a good transition from iMovie and being on a Mac. And now I finally have a way to get my videos on here without turning them to shite. Let me get the focus back on there real quick. Either way, chapter starts off with this yokai announcement. Don't know what the hell is happening. I was a little confused because we do get the location here of where Yamato and these two fucking idiots are at. Well, I guess Drake isn't an idiot. He's just a very unfortunate soul. Apu, idiot. But maybe he's about to redeem himself with this, what we see happening here. But yeah, I was a little confused because we said second floor basement or second basement, and then we also get in the very next page, second floor. So I'm guessing, since they are actually in the basement level, but there's, that archway, there's that like a hall or something that goes all the way up, all 5 floors or whatever of Onigashima. So technically it's the second floor and the basement, not all in one, but just connected via this staircase type of thing. I'm thinking too much about this, but either way, basically where we were at before, you got Fuga chasing Yamato, and Yamato basically trying to get to the basement, and Apu and Drake are basically hassling her still, and she finally gets rid of him because this yokai comes through. Everything's all coming together. CP0, Robin, Brook, all in this one area. They land on top of Fuga. The yokai starts making its way through, gets a quick shot in on CP0 members. We'd love to see them burn. Hopefully that comes into effect later on. Probably not though. But so yeah, she finally gets to get rid of Drake and Apu, who are now tasked with fighting CP0. We were all wondering how the Straw Hats were going to deal with CP0 after all of this was done, and it seems like that problem has also solved itself. I'm sorry, I got the curly hair. We got the Inyaku Godi. What is his name? Is that how you pronounce it? Luffy Inyaku. Inaki. Godoy. Inaki. I'm gonna call him Inaki because I don't know if it's Inaki, so I'm not too sure. I didn't see an Enya on there, but I got the Inaki goatee. I got the Inaki curls right here because curly-haired Luffy is officially canon, man. I mean, bad curly-haired Luffy that needs to really wash his head is not canon, but curly-haired Luffy's canon, so we're gonna let it rock. I'm gonna milk this for as much as it's worth. So we got Drake and Apu are gonna take care of, I guess, Diaz Drake. I gotta start calling them Diaz Drake because this shit is actually a lot cooler than X Drake. Sidetracks on 1,000 today because there's no cutting in between. So yeah, Drake and Apu, they're gonna take care of CP0, which is great because we were wondering what the hell we were gonna do with them. And even if they don't take them down, which I doubt they will, right? We're not gonna have two CP0 agents taken out off screen or taken out before you can see their mask, unless Oda decides to dedicate a whole a whole chapter to this fight, right? Later on, just like while he's cleaning up all the other fights, he can get back to this fight, and then we can get some more info, more details on CP0's existence, the members that are currently in the vicinity, and then a little bit maybe more backstory to Diaz Drake's attachment to Sword, and how this all connects to each other, because it seems like they are disconnected units. Obviously, they're disconnected units in the world government, but it seems like CP0 might have some more knowledge, but you can tell that they're a little bit in the dark. But they also had an idea of what Drake was doing. So hopefully some more exposition here on that front. So yeah, they take over, and then we immediately go back to Zoro versus King. Zoro's having a hard time deciphering these moves. This move set that King has is kind of awkward because it's fucking. What is this face right here? Why is he biting his lip? Like, is that just, I don't know, man. Either way, Zoro basically deduces that he's gonna have to figure out what King is so he can know how to cut him. He has to figure out the voice of his body or the wind of his body. I forget what the hell that Mr. One reference was, but seems like that's all Zoro needs. He just needs to know the type of material or just like the specific way that King's body works so that he can possibly cut through him. But King pulls up, he's like, I'm a different breed. He's like, yeah, you're right, I'm kind of a dinosaur, so you're in the ballpark, you're narrowing it down, but even though I'm a dinosaur, I'm still a different type of being. So it's just reiterating the fact that we will have to remove King's mask before we defeat him. That's gonna, now, instead of just having a symbolic meaning there of, this is King, this is the introduction to the right hand of Kaido. No, we're actually gonna need to unmask him and get a bit of a backstory so that Zoro has the proper way to cut him. The proper technique so that he can cut him and hurt him, which is cool. It adds a much needed. It's not much needed. It doesn't add a much needed dynamic to the fight, but it just goes to show that Zoro isn't going to be able to cut this guy down, and I respect it. It's the right hand of a potential Pirate King candidate in Kaido. So it makes sense that this is not going to be an easy fight for either one of them, because he does hit Zoro with pretty powerful attack here, and Zoro doesn't block it, but he tanks it, and he's just like, all right, this is brutal. Like, he feels like Luffy versus Katakuri when he's just like taking all the hits, and it's just like, I know this is hurting me, but we're gonna have to put up with it until we can figure out a way to win here. And just goes to show Zoro's will is crazy. And on top of his will, we got some of Odin's will touching through here with the shamisen activating Enma. And I don't know if this was a bad activation for Zoro or if this is just him noticing that Enma's just activating again, because you do see his arm like go into the armament version and get skinny again. So I feel like maybe Enma is just pulling out a bunch of energy, and Zoro's just gonna have to maybe this whole unmasking of King doesn't matter, right? Maybe Enma becomes so powerful right now that Zoro can just go, oh, I don't need to know the type of material you have or how your body is made up to cut it, because Enma is growing really strong right now, and maybe as long as I can land a hit, I can hurt you. Hoping that's not the case, because why introduce that whole element right now? But then also, Oda has been breaking a lot of story patterns with this arc. You know, anything that we can look back to at previous arcs and be like, you know, this is how Oda does things. This is how Oda's, you know, set up to do these things. It's kind of been like, you know, folded onto itself because Onigashima is just like a different type of. It's just set up always. It's always been set up to be like a different type of experience. So, you know, looking forward to seeing what kind of curveball Oda can throw us. And then at the end of the chapter, we get confirmation that NL will not be showing up to Wano. Those long things that we saw in that panel that one time when we had the silhouette of Komurasaki were not NL's earlobes at all. It was confirmed to be, you know, Hiyori. Hiyori? Yes, Hiyori. I always want to say Toki, but yes, it's Hiyori, and she's popping up on this big old douchebag here. Hopefully she can just kill him. I don't know what her plan is here. Obviously, her plan consists of luring this guy, or as my girlfriend calls him, Orochichi. So hopefully it's just more than just luring him here. She has some type of plan. Maybe she's baiting him for the return of Usopp. You know, maybe Usopp's on his way to this exact section. Hopefully, I don't know, man. Yeah, because it's the Dome Interior Treasury Repository. This has to be near the area where Usopp's going anyway. I'm hoping. There's a lot of that today. But yeah, I mean, it would just make sense, you know. We got everyone gathering in every other area, so I wouldn't see, you know, there's no other scabbard near again, I almost said Toki, near Hiyori right here. So either she has a plan to deal with Orochimaru. She has a plan to deal with Orochi herself, and she's brought the other sword. What's it called? Ame no Habikiri, I think. And then she can use that. But honestly, I think this is just like a bait. She's gonna have like Yamato's gonna pull up, or maybe Usopp's gonna pull up. I think that's what this is all gearing towards right here. It also would make sense if it's Yamato too, because we did just get two scenes, or well, not two scenes, but we got like two map location things where you see that Yamato's clearly in the basement 2 level, but she can easily be connected to the 2nd floor because of this whole the layout of Onigashima, that open area. I guess that's called not a gazebo. I forget what the proper term for it is, but you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, it would just be good setup from Oda if he's just like, oh yeah, she's in a different section of the castle, but this is just another way for me to connect everyone in one shot without having them, you know, go through the maze of Onigashima to get to the live floor, to get to one specific area. It's cool. They're in different sections, but they're all connected to this one stairwell looking thing anyway. But yeah, that's the end of that chapter. And I guess we're moving on. I mean, like, there's not really much to say. Zoro's in a pinch. Orochi is hopefully about to be in a pinch, or you know, maybe this is, I don't know, man. I just want him to be one shot. I don't want a full fight with Orochi. I think he needs to just die. Satisfying death, I guess. But aside from that, yeah, we didn't really get much Sanji. You know, we were straying away from Sanji. We now have this new yokai thing. It just reminds me of Smiley, or that was what it was called, the poison gas from Punk Hazard. It reminds me of that, and I don't think that's a Big Mom thing. It doesn't seem like that's a Soul Pocus thing. It might be from Kaido, honestly. I'm not too sure where this thing is coming from. Or maybe it could be Big Mom too, right? I guess she encountered fire and added some soul to fire. I just don't know why. Like, I feel like we would have seen it, but also then again, it's Oda, and all the foreshadowing that we need could have easily just been that one panel that we got of Big Mom when everyone was talking about the yokai, because it is her running away laughing. So it could easily have been like she set that off as just like, you know, just a curveball to throw at the Alliance while she's gonna go back to Kid and Law to actually 1v1 them, but in the background she has something that's also doing damage. Not too sure though. Really don't know what the hell this yokai thing is. Anyway, moving on to my boy. Moving on to Jujutsu Kaisen 165? 66. Jujutsu Kaisen 166, where we get confirmation. I guess it's not a like, okay, so it seems like we got exactly what we thought we were gonna get last chapter of Higurama just empathizing with almost said Luffy. He basically empathizes with Yuji here. And you can see in his face that he's not willing to give the death penalty, and that's what his flashback is for. Is just going to prove that he's not a judge. He's not someone who wants to judge people. I guess, which is why he becomes a lawyer, right? He's a defense lawyer for a reason, because he wants to see the good in people. He wants to find the people who are wrongly convicted, yada yada yada, which is like great fucking timing from Gage, honestly. Only taking this out not because I'm a douchebag, but because it's gonna be hard to keep moving hair out of my face today. But yeah, Judge Man finds him guilty, or finds Yuji guilty because Yuji admitted to his crime. Rightfully so, right? Because technically it's his body. If he had said, it wasn't me, and then there is just a picture of him, even as Sukuna, it's still his body committing the crime. Yuji's in the right here, just trying to accept it, because this has been harking on him for a while. He knows that he hurt his friends in that form, or Sukuna hurt his friends in that form, but, he's already made this deal with Sukuna, so technically anything that Sukuna does, even while Yuji's not in control, is, technically his fault. We know it's not his fault, but to Yuji, he feels at fault here, rightfully so, because that's just his character. That's the fate that he accepted when he accepted Sukuna and this whole, journey. So, yeah, Higurama just finds him, he tries to convince him like one last time before he finally gives up. And he's just like, people are flawed. Even though, even if you, he says, even if you ignite a light, a brilliant void will once again be sprawled out ahead of you. Just trying to convince Yuji that, it doesn't matter how good you do. People are just rotten to the core no matter what. Bullshitting himself too. And Yuji's just like, whatever, but he doesn't have to convince Higurama here, because Higurama is just battling with himself. And that's what the flashback is for. It's just, and also reveals to us that he actually does know the evidence beforehand, which is really good to know. So he goes over that in his own head, and he's just like, the evidence you submitted, was about the demon inside of you. It wasn't you. So you are such a great person. Like, this is what I mean by we got what we were expecting last chapter, which is like, I thought Yuji was gonna try and convince him, but Yuji just admits to the guilt himself, instead of just trying to tell Higurama, actually, no, that's not me. It's Higurama who does it, who does the convincing of himself, and basically tells Yuji that he's innocent, confirms that he's gonna give him his 100 points, and the best panel here, the best moment of this whole chapter is, where's my hoodie? Ah, there it is. Like, the most realist thing here is not the fact that you're technically not at fault for the demons inside of you, but the fact that there's like a real moment of him taking a second to find his hoodie. I think that is the funniest part of this whole chapter. But yeah, have you ever killed someone of your own volition? Higurama asks Yuji, and Yuji says yeah, because he technically has, right? He didn't mean to. It wasn't his. It was a revelation for all of us that those were actually humans. That Yuji killed back in the day, but we get confirmation here that Higurama didn't just go mad psycho in the judge room, in the courtroom, whatever the hell. But his introduction, basically, when he has the hammer up and he does kill everyone inside the courtroom, that wasn't him snapping and becoming evil. That was just him snapping, being a good person who's just tired of losing. And the weakness is the light that illuminates the darkness. Yada yada yada. So it's just good to see Higurama empathizing with Yuji on his own. But again, here we go. Strong figure that we need to get a hold of gets talk no jutsu'd by Yuji. Who could have seen it coming, right? I'm not mad at it. I just understand the pattern here that this arc is giving us. I'm also just waiting for it to be a curveball. I would just like to see Fushiguro go through the same thing at some point, or I guess just like convince someone or meet the important figure that he brings over to the good side, or just like the person of interest that either we need to kill or get points from. And Megumi's just like, I got him. Don't worry about it. I got him. But we haven't gotten that yet. We also haven't even gotten the fight. So I hopefully next chapter we get ow, my eyelash. Hopefully next chapter we get the continuation of that whole scenario. But it was great. I think my favorite line throughout this whole thing, actually, the funniest line was the hoodie. My favorite line is Higurama telling Yuji that people who are as weak as you are probably still around, which I guess you can take that a couple of ways. The only two ways I can interpret that is, well, I guess the only one way I can interpret it in the side way. The one way I can interpret it is that he's basically telling that, you may seem weak, but even people as weak as you are very strong because they're still around. It's not really a weakness that you have. It's a human trait. Oh, that's good coffee. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, so that's the way that I think you can interpret that. People who are as weak as you are still around, or probably still around, he says, right? Because how much does this guy actually know? I don't know. I would like to see Higurama's, what would you call this actually? His foyer, I don't know. His amount of knowledge in the Jujutsu world. Because I don't know if that power activated. I need to see more of his backstory other than like his lawyer background. But yeah, that's the one way I can take it. Basically saying like, you may seem weak to yourself, but you're actually really fucking strong. So accept it. And then the other way I guess you can see that is just like, like it just goes to show it's not really like a weak, I guess not a weakness, but like it just goes to show like it's not you're not a dying breed of a person. You're not an anomaly. People like you exist all around. Yada yada yada. Like it's in this fucked up world, in this culling game, in this very horrible situation that we're in. It's actually good people who think like you are not few and far between. They're actually a lot more common than you think. That's the only other way I can really see that line. But I did really enjoy that line. I appreciate that line a lot. And then that's the end of the chapter. Pretty quick again. It's mostly just like fight scene shots. Oh my god, what is up with my eye today? Ow! Okay. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this one without touching the eye again. I'm gonna have to go wash my hands, I guess. But that's Jujutsu Kaisen 166. Enjoyed it too. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the next part, is all it is. I enjoy these chapters. I enjoy the character development, or the building of Higurama, because I guess you can call it development too. Fuck, I already went back on that. I feel like I do have something in here. Okay, we're good to go. But yeah, again, I'm just waiting for the next section. This is the Higurama encounter section. I'm waiting till we, meet up with Megumi again and maybe do something else. So we have to move on to the next, the very next thingamajig. What's it called? Chapter of the next manga in the next part of this review. Which is, I got the Jujutsu Kaisen shirt. I got the Luffy costume. But this is the closest I can really get to a My Hero costume. I guess you can count this. This is green. It comes up as green. Maybe I'll brighten it up in the after, as an afterthought, right? So we're gonna do the rest of this review just like this. My Hero 334. Boku no Hero 334. I don't know which one the population of this fan base actually prefers, but damn it, I'm just taking L's with My Hero, because I told myself I know that All For One is not gonna care about who he gives New Order to, and he actually does, but it seems like he actually has to care. Not that he's choosing to make sure that he gives it to someone without a quirk, because he gives a shit about them and passing on the legacy, but apparently he does have to take away the quirk before he can instill it. So maybe it just has to do with Star and Stripes, to her last, the curse that she set upon him. It could have to do with that. She's just like, no, you can't even give this to someone who already has a quirk, so he has to take it out first. And we get our new order. I don't know. He's gonna become a thing, right? We got a name drop. We got a imprisoned for robbery and murder. So we have a character arc to go through. I don't know if we have time for a whole arc for this guy, but we will, I think, get a couple of moments with him where he's like, not reimbursed. What's the word I'm looking for? I just used it in the previous thing. Let's look it up real quick. Let's look it up. No, as a matter of fact, we're gonna think our way through this. The powers of marijuana will get us through this whole thing. I mean, tobacco. We're gonna get fuck. What's it called? Starts with an R. But basically, he's gonna. Jesus Christ, this word is gonna kill me the rest of the review. He's gonna get a moment to redeem himself. That's what it is. Because he's gonna be this previously imprisoned person for robbery, and he's technically going to be a new person, right? Because whatever quirk that he did have, and he most likely used that got him into jail in the first place, he's not going to have anymore. He's just going to have New Order, and so maybe that means he turns a new leaf and becomes a good person. This Kashi Go. Maybe that might be a pun, honestly. But yeah, All For One pops up on these two people just trying to hide out and shit. Instills the quirk on him, good old Kashiko, and we get a last minute, you fool. This isn't even my final. No, we have I can still safely store. New Order will revolt against other quirks. So yeah, Star and Stripe is still here, even while AFO is like transferring the quirk over, just basically reminding him that he's an idiot. He hasn't gotten rid of her yet, and oh man. Good shots. I like these creepy skeletal looking shots because AFO, A for one, awesome. All For One definitely needs to be shitted on one more time as long as possible. As long as her existence still plagues him, she needs to make it as hard as possible for him, which she does, but he gets over it. He definitely takes the quirk out, gives it to Kashi over here, and he basically says that's enough. Well, basically, he actually does say that's enough, and he's kind of haunted, not only with Kashi. No, he's not only haunted with the remnants of New Order and Star and Stripe here, but he's reminded of Izuku's existence, right? This is the last haul. This is the last thing that he needs to go over to assert world dominance or whatever. But it's not gonna be easy. Even though he almost had the New Order in the palm of his hands, he now doesn't have it, right? He doesn't have New Order. He's got a whole stockpile of other quirks that he doesn't really need New Order anyway. But at least at the end of the day, we got to hand AFO an L, and I am more than happy that is the case. But yeah, we get confirmation here. After the group, the pilots or whatever, I keep forgetting, but Star and Stripe's team meets up with the heroes, and we confirmed that Star and Stripe wasn't just the strongest in America or even the strongest woman in America. She was the strongest in the world. She was the strongest quirk user of all, like at the moment, even which goes to show that technically hero rankings do not matter. Todoroki NG was Njeti, I think it is NG, but Endeavor here was number 1, but there's still a huge gap between number 1 and the actual number 1, or between him and the actual number 1 in the world. News of America's number 1 hero's death spread across the world within a day, so she was the number 1 hero in America, so the ranking systems are by country. But even she, who was heralded as the strongest hero in the world, couldn't stand up to him. So she is confirmed to not only have been number 1 in New York, number 1 in America, but number 1 in the entire world, which is pretty damn cool, man. But yeah, her sacrifice did not go in vain because it stalled them. They got some camera footage. They got some footage to study of AFO's new power, and they got some time. Like specifically, another week. They have one more week to move before AFO is ready to attack, and maybe that week is cut in half because we did also get confirmation. We got a lot of confirmation every fucking chapter, but this is why I cut things. But there was that moment where AFO was like, oh my god, your body's healing even faster. But so maybe that's not a week, maybe that's like 3 days, right? because AFO, of course, is going to be able to surprise attack him because it's AFO. He gets whatever the hell he wants. So yeah, and then the last shot here is the big three, the new big three. We got Izuku in the front. We got Shoto all the way in the back, and Bakugo right next to him. It's the team right here. This is the squad. So again, short chapter. Like, not much happens other than AFO actually getting rid of his power, getting rid of New Order, instilling it onto the person who I guess will become a thing. Maybe they pop up in the very ending, of the last battle, and just like is able to. Maybe that's the spark. I'm not too sure. There's not really much information for me to go off in terms of speculation, but I will keep this guy Kashikashi in mind for future chapters because he just has to pop up. He's the guy with the quirk of the strongest person or the former strongest person in the world. There's no way that he doesn't come back up. And with that said, we are done with the reviews. I'm sorry, Batman hat. Did not mean to throw you on the floor. You kind of slipped out. We're done with the reviews. Ryunosuke, what you think of the chapters? You should be commenting, liking, and subscribing. You still haven't subscribed to my page, so we're gonna get him on the board while we figure out his email and his YouTube account info that we need to get him set up with. You go and do the same. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the chapters down below. Pretty good chapters. I mean, like, I always enjoy these. You're gonna know when there's a big 3 chapter that comes out that I really detest, and it's probably gonna be the next time One for All or All for One wins. Anytime he screws over the gang, and I'll let you know that. But I don't see any bad chapters coming out of One Piece anytime soon. Jujutsu Kaisen is gonna be on break because Gage it needs some time off apparently, but he got some like a month and a half off, I believe, previously. Came back, wrote a few chapters, so very grateful that he was able to do a few more before his next break. But it seems like we're going to be on break. Not too sure what we're going to do in terms of reviews for that. But maybe I'll come up with something. Either way, I'll see you guys next week. My name is Weekly Shonen. Let's take this fucking thing off. Crazy hair. My name is Weekly Shonen. I hope you guys have enjoyed this big 3 review. This is a really long one, but it's only because it's very... Oh, we haven't talked about One Piece 1000. Hold the phone before I sign out. I just gotta give a big thanks to One Piece, Eiichiro Oda, to Toei Animation, to Funimation, Rogers Base for hosting a cooking show in the middle of all of this for the $9.98 and $9.99. Appreciate this whole community, man. There's not much I can really say about the episode that hasn't probably already been said by other people, but it was simple. It was a very simple One Piece episode. You got some like scuffle, you got Luffy and Zoro in trouble, like with the Brachiosaurus thing with Queen. They got trapped in Queen's clutches. We got really good animation from King, and just going back and watching 998 and 999 during the event, you can see just how crisp all the animation actually has been. Just the chase scene between King and Sanji was good to look at again. 999, obviously just like seeing Yamato and the fighting and whatnot. I think just while we're on the subject, I do need to give a shout out to Ulti's voice actress because she's the MVP. Yamato may have been the big reveal of the voice actors for this season, or for this arc, but Ulti's doing her thing, man. She sounds awesome every single time. Just want to pay mind to that. But yeah, it's a One Piece episode 1000. We got the assembly of the Straw Hat Crew, which we haven't gotten in 10 years or something like that, right? It's been since Fishman Island, right? Because we didn't get an assembly on Dressrosa, I don't think. Yeah, it might have been the last time. I know the last time the Straw Hats been together was on Dressrosa, but we didn't get a full thing until Fishman Island. We haven't gotten one since Fishman Island of them being together. So it was beautiful, man. Very simple episode. Like, if you haven't watched One Piece at all, I think you can watch episode 1000 and know what it's about. Obviously you're gonna get spoiled on a bunch of stuff, but you don't really need too much context just to see the type of show that One Piece is. One Piece episode 1000 was like the culmination of all of that. A good first episode for anyone who happens to encounter this on Adult Swim, or I don't know how people encounter anime anymore. I know the way I used to do it was just staying up too late watching Adult Swim or Toonami, and then just seeing episodes of stuff that was in the middle of an arc that I had no idea, about. So, I feel like this is a perfect episode to happened to run into One Piece on. And I hope that anyone at Anime NYC who just tuned into the 1,000 episode stream, you know, got a little taste of that. Hopefully some new fans were made at Anime NYC this week. I wish I could have gone back the second day to view, but I was only in there for Friday. I didn't have much time to. Next day I'll do 3-day pass. I'll put aside a bunch of time to be there the entire weekend and make a video out of it. But I just wanted to get my first con experience out the way, and it was a really good first con experience. I was 5 feet away from Sean Schemmel and Chris Sabat, and their lines were already closed. Aaron Yeager's line had the longest line I had seen throughout the entire day, which was awesome. And I wish I had gotten a moment to speak to him too, because I needed to ask him, how he was gonna approach the whole Ymir thing. Spoilers to anyone, Attack on Titan spoilers, but there's a scene where he's approaching a character in this realm. I'll keep it very vague. And there's a line that he says about not being a god, not being a slave, and I just I'm waiting for that in the English dub. I know it's gonna be crazy in the Japanese dub, but I know that he's gonna nail that line in the English dub, and that's gonna be the line that hits the hardest of this season. So looking forward to that. But yeah, we made it 1,000 episodes, 100 volumes. What was it? The 1,000th chapter, all in the same year. Very excited for this community. Very excited for this anime. It means a lot because yeah, man, Straw Hat Crew's here. As I was saying in the last chapter, they're a force to be reckoned with now. You get to see their bounties. You get to see them. I'm gonna put you down. You get to see them, basically do what the Straw Hats do in their natural habitat, and it was just good to see that this Yonko crew raiding another Yonko crew's territory, or two Yonko crew together, but one Yonko's territory, and basically just doing what you would expect Shanks' crew to be able to do, right? Just pull up as one crew to any scenario and be able to fuck it up no matter what, because that's just how they roll. That's it just goes to show Luffy really is modeling his whole life by Shanks' example, which is great. It's good to see. But yeah, that's everything. That's all I've got. This is a 40-minute video. Fuck. Damn it. So I will be throwing a bunch of pictures on top of this and uploading it in a frantic waste. Anyone who wants to watch a 40-minute video on 3 chapter reviews and a brief half-assed episode 1000 review, you're more than welcome to stay and watch the whole thing over and over again. Just make sure you take a bathroom break, because I did not. But yeah, that's me. My name is Weekly Shonen. This is the Big 3 review. Like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed, and bye. Have a good day. That's right. Go crazy, go crazy, go crazy, go crazy, go crazy, go crazy,